part 3 of this 3-part session on creating momentum in the cannabis industry. Our topic on this last session is about complexities and predictions, in which I'm going to actually put my neck on the line and say some things are going to happen in the next 24 months. Now, this is March, 12th, 2019. So we'll see if this happens in 2019 and 20 and beyond. Well, I'm excited about sharing with you about one of the industry people that I met. His name's Lupe. And I got his phone number from somebody I met, and I called up Lupe, and I said, Lupe, listen, I'd like to come out and see your operations. They got about 300 acres that they farm hemp. And so showed up, and Lupe, shook my hand and took me for an hour and a half on his time and showed me their entire operations of their company. And when it was done, I said to myself, man, what an amazing person. He made me feel so cared for. He just invited me in. He showed me, I said, well, how did you do? He said, well, let me share with you the 3 ways we failed with our first hemp crop. And they told me the 3 things they did wrong. He was so open and honest. And I said, wow, what an amazing person. Guess what I'm finding? There's Lupes everywhere. This industry is really about wonderful people. Now, here's the challenge. This is one of the most complex industries in the world. And I'm going to hopefully overwhelm your brain a little bit this morning. For some of you, we're going to make a decision whether you want to get in the industry or not. So, here's where we're at. Oh, look, legal sales of marijuana are expected to grow to more than $20 billion by 2022. How can you capitalize on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity regarding the cannabis industry? I don't know what the facts and figures are for the dot-com boom, but I guarantee you this is going to surpass it. Because when you take all of cannabis and you total it up, it's not going to be just 20 billion, is it? It's eventually going to be 100, 200. It may be $1 trillion industry by the time it's reached its critical mass. So here's 3 things we're going to talk about. The one and only syndrome, the crux of the matter, and the way forward. Now, every single person in cannabis is unique. Every single one. There's nobody that has the same personality, hairstyle as you. You are the only one in the world out of 7.1 billion people. You're the only one like you. When you talk to people in cannabis, you know what they say? We are the one and only, and you fill in the blank. We're the one and only extractor that has this. And today, that's true, but tomorrow it's not. We're the one and only that has full spectrum oil with a dash of lavender. You're right, you are. We're the one and only. Wherever you go, we're the one and only. And today, that's true. But that's a syndrome, and we need to get over this. So here's what it is. Right now, just met at the RV show just a couple days ago, Real-Time Pain Relief. Met Teresa and Bob, and this is what they said. We are the one and only, quote, one and only CBD oil company that has a national drug code number and is FDA licensed, whereby Medicaid pays for our products and is legal in all 50 states, end quote. Here's what I know. That is true today. How many patents are out there to the FDA tomorrow? Be careful when you say we're the one and only. You may be today, but you better do your research every day to make sure somebody's isn't your 2 and only. I have the one and only marijuana dispensary that is on College and Drake. Yeah, okay, you're right. You're the only one. Make sure if you say I'm the one and only, the only one, make sure you know that what you're talking about. And by the way, that's not what's going to get people attracted to you. Is your unique ability. It's your ability to keep them, not your ability to get them. Listen, remember, it's harder to gain new customers than retain your old ones. Make sure you're doing things constantly to keep them engaged with you. Talk about your uniqueness, but eventually, in 2 years from now, whatever you're doing, you will not be the one and only. There'll be 50, 100, 1,000 doing one and onlys. Since there are over 50,000 reported uses for the cannabis plant, what will you create first, whereby others will follow in your footsteps? Here's what I know. Every single person who's a creative person, who's an innovator, you can create a product or service in cannabis today that's never been thought of in the history of the world, and you can be the first one and only. Patent it, please. please patent your idea. Please don't share it. Don't share the formula. Make sure you have your intellectual property protected. Make sure that you have a great corporate lawyer, because you're going to need it if you come up with a brand new idea. And I've got 10 ideas that the world's never seen. I've got them written down, never been produced. You can too. Make sure you know what you're doing. So what's the crux of the matter? Here's the problem. People are getting into the industry, they don't know what to do because it's so overwhelming. I mean, when you go to a business expo and you learn about all these different things, you are so overwhelmed, your head hurts for a month. And you got all this new information and everybody's telling you about everything. So which one are you supposed to be? You want to be a generalist and understand about the entire industry and the whole process? Or do you want to be a specialist in which you're going to become a specialist in one thing? There's not a right or wrong here. It's based upon your personality and the complexity of your soul. That's what the bottom line is. I'm a generalist. I'm not a specificist. I'm not trying to understand about the genetics of the cannabis plant and understand about the 60 to 120, because I got all kinds of facts and figures of the components, right? That's not what I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn about the industry. So I'm meeting with people all across the industry in all different areas because I'm a generalist. You need to pick one. But here's the problems. Let's say you're an investor, because we have a lot of investors that are in this industry. Man, they're bringing millions. I know people right now that can pay for 3,000 acres to plant. They have it in cash, they're ready to go. They can't find the right partner. If you're looking for investors, that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so let's say you would like to purchase and own a cannabis seed company. You would then apply business principles and connect with other farmers as a supplier. And you're going to be a broker of seeds. Now, listen, brokers are awesome. I hope they have an email address that doesn't say at gmail.com. Don't use a broker that's not a real broker. Make sure that they know what they're doing. Brokers are awesome. They will connect you with people you couldn't possibly meet with. And make sure you pay them the correct finder's fee. Be kind. All right, good. Now, however, this is a complex decision-making process. And I'm going to show you why it's so complex, because some people don't understand why it's so difficult to become a generalist in this industry. So here's what it is. This is the cannabis complexity decision-making funnel. Isn't that awesome? I just love it. Okay, and now if you're going to be a specialist, and let's say you're going to do, I don't know, you're going to do investments. So you go say, I'm coming in as an investor, and I'm going to learn about seeds. Then you're done. I'm a specialist. I'm doing one thing, I'm going to do it excellent. But if you're a generalist, and you say, I need to learn a little bit more about that, let's take a look at what you got to learn. Well, you need to learn about genetics, because if you got bad seed, guess what's going to happen? They're going to go from, you don't have the right feminized seed, and then all of a sudden you have some male plants, and they pollinate, because males are always feminizing and procreating. Okay, so you got to understand about genetics. Then you need to grow the seeds into seedlings, right? And then you need to understand you have to have water and soil testings on a regular basis, because if you don't do that, if you're going into the hemp industry, your THC will be too high, and then when you bring it, well, okay. And then you need to grow property, because you got to have a place to put the seeds and seedlings. So now you're in real estate. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, and then now you're a grower, because your seedlings are turning into plants. Now you're a farmer. Oh, it is great. And then are you going to make the decision? Are you going to go CBD, THC? Because that oil, you need to understand the differences there. And if you go the CBD, THC oil route, these are the other components you need to learn before you even make a return on your investment. Manufacturing, full spectrum, new products, dispensaries, transportation, chemistry, extractors. You need to learn everything. Don't think you can walk into this industry and in a month know what you need to know as a generalist. It's going to take you years before you can say, with authority, I am a generalist and I know enough about the industry that I know what to invest in. I know who to get involved with. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit worse on you, because there's some people in the room that are extremely cautious, and you need to see the facts. And I'm about to show you in one paragraph what I've learned in 2 years being in the industry. And here's what it is. It's going to change your life. Now, you're going to be a generalist. Here it is. Now let's say you want to be holistically involved and learn the entire process, beginning with seeds, which means you need to understand a bit about genetics, which is very complex, before you could plant your seedlings. Okay, because you plant the wrong seedlings, it messes everything up. Which means you're going to go into farming, therefore you have to purchase a piece of property. right? So you hire an R&D department because you have to do that because you decide to develop a new product that's not been on the market yet. So when you grow your crops and purchase the correct equipment, you can harvest the plants and then have a location that you need to dry and store your crops before you can transport them to the extractor in order for them to provide you with CBD, THC oil. But the type of oil is dependent upon your decision to either focus upon isolates or full spectrum. But the quality of your products are based upon your lab, which you need to test your soil, water, and plants weekly to ensure proper levels of percentages are maintained, to send the solution to your manufacturer, who will then create and ship your products to retail and dispensaries so you can gain your return on investment. How do you like that? That's what it's going to take. So if you're going to be a generalist, man, it is awesome. When I got done with this, I was so excited because I'm like, that's the industry. That is cannabis right there in a paragraph. It is more exciting than any other industry on this earth. If you're going to be a generalist, man, you're going to love it. If you're a specialist, you're going to love it because you're going to learn so many new things you've never heard of. Now, I'm going to risk my reputation starting the Hemp Business Advisors at this moment. I'm going to make some declarative statements. What's going to be taking place in the next 24 months. It's in your notes. So let's take a look at it. In the next 24 months, regret will be the operative term to describe the number of investors and inventors who did not move with urgency. If you have an idea today, you better not wait to start it tomorrow. You're going to be left out. Number 2, cannabis will revolutionize the farming industry. One of the passions of my heart, and it just happened when I got in the industry, is I love farmers. I'm attracted to farmers. They love the soil, they love the crops, they love the feel, the smell. They love helping people with their crops. And I know this, there are so many farmers that are this close to bankruptcy that when they get their license to grow, guess what's going to happen? They're going to have their life turned around when all of a sudden they see the amount of net profit that they're going to have, and they're going to get their hope back again because so many people have lost their hope in farming. They've lost their hope in farming. They said, I've been a farmer for a 4th generation and we're not making it. You know what? Cannabis can actually save the entire farming market. You find a farmer that's downtrodden, bring them into the market. Let's get them where they need to be. Now, THC and CBD oil retail prices will plummet based upon the law of supply and demand. If you are currently charging $150+ for your oil, it can be the best oil in the world. You will not be able to maintain that over the next 2 years. The reason why is that when the public all of a sudden finds out the amount of oil that's going to be imported and the amount of oil that's going to be done. And remember, last year in the U.S. alone, we only had 25,000 acres in 2018 of hemp. Remember how many millions of dollars of hemp was brought into the country? That doesn't have to happen anymore. That means we can grow our own crops, get our own oil. That means that the supply and the demand are about to go like this. We're going to have a ton of oil and a lot more demand for it. Next, cannabis extractors, mark my words, will go out of business. They will go out of business. I know 2 extractors right now that have already been closed down in Colorado. And I hope more follow them if they're going to be greedy. Okay, you cannot go to another industry and say, I can't walk up to an accountant and let's say, you look like an accountant. You look like you could be a great accountant. And he says to me, David, I want 50% of your company's revenue to do your accounting work. You cannot do that. It is not self-sustainable. So here's what's happening right now today. If you're an extractor, please get out of the framework of whoever came up with this ludicrous idea that you can get 50% of the revenue by doing your work. That is not going to happen. And if you're an extractor, you're either going to be out of business in the next 24 months or you're going to change your financial model. Do it on a percentage base. Do it smaller. But you can't, not 50%. Because if I'm a grower, if I'm a farmer, and I'm going to give you 50%, I'm going to go out and spend a couple $1 million and get my own extractor and get my own oil. So there will be extractors are going out of business, and there'll be those that adapt with the finances that we should have right now in the marketplace. All right, investors will gain 100% plus on their investments as they infuse their capital into cutting-edge cannabis products, services, and technologies. Do you know, in January, I heard of a gentleman who's developed an incredible software program in which drones can fly over your cannabis fields and can literally find the male plants and mark them, and you can go to your field and pluck them out before they poof. Incredible. There's going to be more technologies that come out that you've ever seen in any industry. It is an incredible time to be an investor. Now, a couple more ideas. In the next 24 months, new equipment will be created by engineers who have learned how to work well with others. Excuse me. If you're an engineer, I need you to do something. Please come to our DISC personality workshop. Okay, that helps you to learn how to cultivate a smiling face in which you actually greet other people and you're going to smile and you're going to be friendly. Because I don't care how brilliant you are, if people can't stand you, they're not going to use you. So you're going to find people that were introverts who are great, very accurate with their jobs as engineers. They're going to get training. They're going to become really excited about being in cannabis. And they're going to help you develop your products that the world has never seen. The amount of lawsuits will exponentially explode since the county, state, and federal laws conflict. You're going to find that if you do not have a company and you don't have it properly structured, you will be sued by your employees to get the money. So whatever you do, make sure you do things right and protect yourself legally. Entrepreneurs that have no business infrastructure will file bankruptcy en masse once they have crossed the success threshold. Entrepreneurs like to do things, they fly by night, they wing it. And the problem is in this industry, when you wing it and make a lot of money, guess what happens? You collapse very quickly. There's been company after company after company in cannabis that has already gone bankrupt. You know why? They didn't have the infrastructure that when they exponentially grew, they crashed just as quickly as they grew. So make sure you have proper business infrastructure or you will go bankrupt. And by the way, when the federal government says that marijuana is legal and you can bank it, do you know how much taxes you're going to pay? You better make sure we have a separate account. This account's our general account. This account is our tax account. And we put 10 to 20% every month of our earnings into that account when it's good months. And therefore you have that account. So when the tax man comes, hey, I got it all right here and you pay it. Whatever you do, don't spend all your money. Put some aside. Now, the federal government will realize that they are currently losing billions of dollars. I'm not sure how sharp our politicians are today. If you said to me, David, if you'll do these things, I'll give you $1 billion, I promise I'll do them for you. So they're going to legalize marijuana and allow the banking industry to work in the cannabis industry with both individuals and organizations in the next 24 months, or the government is going to lose so many billions of dollars in taxes. Listen, when we're done, this industry can pave even the back roads of Georgia on a farm will be paved. Our whole infrastructure of our nation has been looking for a solution. The taxes are the solution for the industry, but you got to make it legal. And you can't screw people. We shouldn't have to get paid to tax 25%, right? It should be taxed just like any other business. A couple more ideas. In the next 24 months, many new nonprofit organizations will be founded that will donate millions of dollars in products and capital in order to ship to those in physical need around the world. We have a nonprofit. Our name of our nonprofit is not the Hemp Business Advisors, it's the HBA Foundation. We take finances from organizations that are looking for a tax write-off in the cannabis industry. You pay us the money. What happens is you get a tax write-off because we're a 501c3. Okay, we give you that tax write-off. Then what we do is we ask this to you. 25% stays in the company as an administrative fee. That's what's legally allowed for nonprofits. And 75% goes to a project. What project would you like to do? Guess what we do? We partner with you. We do the project together. We get a big check with how much you gave, and we give you the marketing credit, and all of a sudden your company gets advertisement for helping other people. Listen, there's going to be so many nonprofits that start. You know why? Because people that are inside this industry that are developing products that change people's lives, their heart says, I don't want to just sell it. There's people out there that are hurting that I got to get this to, and they're going to donate it to a nonprofit. Nonprofit's going to ship it to them for free because they're tired of people that are constantly dying. I was told just a couple days ago, there are 90 people a day that are dying on drugs, medication. Over the counter, what are they called? Opioids? Yeah. Next. The banning of the words healing, cure, and medicine will become ineffective based upon the cannabis cheerleaders who will not be silenced by anyone on social media regarding their life-altering, disease-killing newfound freedom. Listen, when you have parents of a 5-year-old little girl who's having 15 seizures a day, and now she's on your product, and they go on their Facebook Live, and they go on YouTube, and they record that, and all of a sudden they're sharing across the world what your product has done. There's not going to be enough people that can cancel what you do fast enough, because there's going to be not millions, tens of millions that are going to be marketing the industry because of the life change. You cannot control the cannabis movement. It will control us. We will not control it. It will overcome every single obstacle in the end. It is a movement. So here's my question. What will you decide to do in these next 7 days that will determine the level of your success in the next 24 months? You have 1 week to decide. Because if you don't, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get passive and you're going to lose your opportunity. Tax revenues in 2018 derived from state-sanctioned recreational sales surpassed $1 billion, a 57% increase over 2017 levels. So, if you're going into the cannabis industry, partner with individuals and organizations like Tom from Sentinel Mountain, Michelle Green Cherry, Morris Beagle, Noco Hemp Expo, Rochelle Tabor with Natural Wellness. These are the people that just recently shared with me secrets about what they're learning in the industry. They open-armed me. They took me in as one of their own. And I'm thanking those kind of people, because if those people are leading the industry, you have nothing but credibility and integrity with where we're going. It's going to be a fantastic 2 years to be alive. So what I want to close with is we do business consulting to the cannabis industry. We help people set up their infrastructure. If you would like to figure out what you're supposed to do in the industry, email us at email@thehempbusinessadvisors.com. Put in the subject line the word CAT for Cannabis Assessment Tool, which is to discover your passion for the industry. Fill it out, and you know what? By the time you're done with those 2 pages, you'll know whether or not you're supposed to be a specialist or a generalist. There's a few times in life that you have an open window where you know if you don't do something, you will live the rest of your years with regret. For those of you around the world that have a heart to help other people, that care about the cannabis plant and know what its effects are with people's health, with their wealth, I would encourage you to make up your mind. Don't dabble. Don't put 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Make sure that you are completely committed and dedicated for the lifelong of this industry. May you be blessed. My name is David Wilkinson. I am the co-founder and competitive strategist here at the Hemp Business Advisors. It's been an honor to share with you these ideas. I look forward to meeting with you in the future.